Alright guys, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Honestly, can I just say that I prefer YouTube so much. I prefer YouTube a lot more than any other platforms because YouTube low-key feels like home. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have had a wonderful pre-year, I would like to say. So it's still quite early of 2026 to see what the fuck else is going to happen. I'm about to get ready my makeup now while I talk and give you guys a life update because I feel like I need to catch up a little bit. I love to see that you bitches are really fucking with me. All right, let's talk about a little bit of my life and give y'all a life update. So much shit has happened. I'm gonna start off first with primer. You guys know, previously I have been scouted. One agent, I don't know if you guys already, I've told this story like briefly like a couple years ago. There was this agent who wanted to like scout me a model gig, and I was like all up for it, you know. I was like, oh my god, yes. And then I remember she was just like a fraudulent little bitch. What she was really wanting to scout me for was to basically be a sex worker for a billionaire's party in Marbella. So funny because she blocked me immediately when I did a story time about this, but I was kind of like milking the situation because I wanted more details. Okay, so she was kind of like, you go to Marbella, and when you are in Marbella you have to sign papers. And I was going to fly private to Marbella. Security guard would meet me up, like just crazy shit. Like I was just like, what is this? And then once the security guard has picked me up, I was going to go to the castle, to the place where I was going to stay. And I was going to have the security guard outside of my door, but I would have to sign all the papers while I'm there. Depending on how much I would like to show was based on how much I was going to get paid as well. And if I did a good job and if the owner fucked with me heavily, he used to fly out like his favorite girls private to Dubai. And I was just like, all right, darling. He never spoke again after that, but whatever. Can you guys imagine me going and doing that? God, the way my reputation would have been down the hill. Anyways, this is just one of the stories, guys. Like I have so much more to tell you guys about what has happened like right now in during this year. Like it's so crazy how fast things have just gone and how much has actually happened. I'm very sensitive to people's energies. People always want access to me. People always want to come close to me. People always want to be my friend. People are always fascinated by me. Overall, it's very hard for people to stay neutral to my energy because people constantly react to it. And when I say that people react to my energy, I'm talking about in a way where it's hard for people to stay neutral to me. It's not only the negative aspects. It's basically when people react strongly to me, it's either from admiration or from misunderstanding me or from hating on me as fuck, being jealous of me, envious, loving me, obsessive. Like it's basically like there's no thin line of someone who's like completely neutral to me. That's why I don't have a lot of friends, because people just react super strong to my energy. And over the years I basically have understood now that, okay babe, like when you are building something long lasting for yourself, because I know that I will be very successful, very rich. Like I already see myself as someone who is very successful, very rich. Let's not get it confused here. But like when it comes to me, babes, I am already a rich woman. I'm very rich. I'm using this e.l.f. and for foundation, using Giorgio Armani. When it comes to like my journey and, you know, my success, I know because people always tell me, oh, Selassie, like why haven't you blown up yet? Like why don't you have more followers? And I was just like, it will come when it's time. The thing is, I will tell you ladies something, because I am a rich, successful woman and I'm about to have a wonderful life and live throughout the dreams that I have set up for myself ever since I was a child. I must constantly train myself for that success, for that journey. Keep in mind, like if you're building something for yourself, especially if you're building something that you want to last, okay? Because a lot of these creators that you guys are watching, they are just doing this fast pace, you know. Like, I post on TikTok, but TikTok is not my favorite platform because TikTok is just very like, just fast paced. It's very shallow and it's just kind of like just like a quick impression. Maybe not the first impression, it's a quick impression of someone. So you never get the full detail, the full image. It's just easier to just make a judgment based on that, like go viral or whatever. When you are building something long lasting, you constantly need to get trained. Like training yourself looks different for everyone. You have to keep in mind that when you are building something long lasting, that you want to last a lifetime and you want it to last up to your future children, you cannot rush your own legacy. Like, you cannot rush what's already yours. All right, so I'm about to apply blush. I'm doing just a soft glam, guys. Like, this is not like a crazy glam, it's just a soft glam. Then this my Reeks Beauty Rose and Brunch, and I tend to apply blush before concealer because everything kind of like blends in afterwards when I do my concealer. Anyways, I am very alone. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but also like I spend a lot of time with myself and I don't talk to people at all. Like, when I have so much shit going on, I don't really talk to anyone. I just like go out. Like, I am the type of person who really just needs to spend time alone and, you know, go out for a walk. And I'm very sensitive underneath, even though I'm very confident, but that's also because like my confidence has been built through experiences. When you guys see my confidence and see me being very bold and very like fierce or whatever, underneath all that layers there's a very sensitive part of me that's been hurt multiple times. So everything you see is what I am. All the expression, all the attitude, all of that comes from lived experiences. I have had to survive so many things, and this year it's been like the most testing year ever so far. And obviously, like, I'm not the type of person who speaks about everything. It's not, nobody cares. If we're honest, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares about your struggles. Nobody cares really if life is tough for you. It's just what it is. Like, no one wants to hear about your struggles or about you trauma dumping. People on these apps, they're like sitting here trauma dumping to y'all and telling y'all all about their life experiences and shit like that, which can be a good thing, but I think it's just very dangerous when you trauma dump so much. Because no, I'm sorry. Like, even just last week, I was walking around in the city. By the way, the concealer that I'm using, this is from Lancome anyways. Even like last week, I was literally walking down the street and then a man stopped me. He was like, hi, like, I would like to interview you. And listen, like, I don't mind getting interviewed, but recently, like, everyone in Stockholm has been stopping me to do content with them. These streamers are like following me and I'm like, oh no, darling, like, please, like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm too sexy to be out here acting as a fool for y'all, just for y'all stupid ass content. Like, I'm over here building my own shit where it's going to be sustainable as fuck, you know? Anyways, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. And I was like, okay, what's the question? And he was like, what's the most painful thing someone has said to you? And I was like, oh no, darling. I was like, oh no, like, sorry, but no, like, we're not going there. I was like, I'm sorry, like, you will have to ask someone else, darling, because I don't really have time to sit here and tell you the most painful thing someone has told me. Are you crazy? Go ask someone who's like homeless on the street, babe. They probably have even worse experiences than me. Or maybe not, actually. You never know. Favorite setting spray. I do feel like sometimes, like a lot of times, I feel like, oh my god, like, I am not where I am supposed to be. Like, my success story is a slow burn story. Like, it is taking its time. But also, just seeing like my latest YouTube vlog for Paris, I have right now 253 people who has watched it. So for me, it's like, wait, 253 people actually clicked on my vlog to watch me? Babe, I mean, come on now, come on now. When you truly have a plan for yourself, not even a plan, like a dream for yourself, I just feel like I can't let my dream be on hold for other things. Because right now, a lot of things is happening in my life. A lot of things is trying to kill me and distract me from what I'm going. And it's always like this. When you are someone who's very eccentric and who stands out, people react to you very strongly and they constantly will try to manipulate you into thinking that you are not it. That's something you really have to watch out for. People will constantly try to manipulate you into thinking you are not it. Like, even now while doing this video, I feel like it's therapy for me, because when you post like this and talk, it's like therapy, you know? One thing you always just have to kind of like remind yourself of is how rare you are. Like, I constantly remind myself that, okay, Sarah, like, life isn't easy for you right now and things may not look exactly what you want it to look, but you constantly have to train yourself and to believe in yourself and to know that shit will get better. You just have to remind yourself that things will get better. I always switch my mind into the positive aspects when it comes to everything. I know I have potential. All right, like, I know I have potential. Everyone knows that I have potential. The fact that you guys are watching me, it means that you guys sense the potential. You guys see a raw bitch with motion. But what are we going to do with this potential if it actually doesn't turn into something? You know, like, I cannot sit here and waste time. One thing I have been neglecting a little bit is how powerful I actually am by myself, and how the only thing I have been lacking perhaps is just structure and consistency, especially when it comes perhaps with YouTube and things like that. And I'm sharing these things because there will come a day where I am very, very rich, very, very successful. I have it all. I know you guys will see this video and come back to it and be like, shit, okay, this bitch spoke about it. I'm not delusional. Like, I can see my future. I am being shown what's possible. So when you see something possible for yourself, you are seeing your own potential, but it's up to you to actually build structure and consistency and discipline to actually go after it. My time is not running out like that. That's not what I'm saying, but you have to start refining your confidence, refining the structure, and refining your journey at the moment. So I'll give y'all just an example of what happened to me quite recently. Now it's getting into like a little storytelling. All right, I have my drink just to boost up my energy a little bit. Anyway, this is not a Red Bull. This is actually a Celsius, not sponsored, so whatever. Ooh. Anyways, so let me continue about the story, because you guys are going to fucking gag when I tell y'all about this. Because, you know, I was just kind of like confused. Like, I was just fucking confused. Oh my god. Honestly, I love you guys. Like, I fucking love you guys. The fact that you guys are watching me, like, I don't think you guys understand how you guys are just fulfilling and healing a part of me, like healing a part of my childhood. You guys are not even understanding, because I have always known I was going to become rich and famous. I've always known it. Like, ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to post on YouTube. I've always wanted to be active on social media, but I've always been so scared and shy, because even though I knew I always belonged here, I knew I belonged doing this shit. It sounds so dramatic, but this is like real raw emotion shit. So I was in H&M, divas. I was in H&M, and when I was in H&M, I remember this day perfectly. I wore some jeans that were, I posted even on TikTok. I would post like my outfit here, what I wore that day, okay? I was just giving model of duty like I always fucking do. By the way, do you guys like my new earrings? They're not new. These are YSL. And I went to H&M, all right? And I was just looking at skincare, because I am a skincare freak. Like, I love skincare so much. I get facials all the time. You guys already know, like, I'm very into like skincare and shit like that. You guys see that shit constantly. And I was in H&M, and I remember having my wireless headphones, my Gucci Tom Ford sunglasses, and I had my vanilla iced oat latte. I was holding that shit, and I was just sipping it slowly, but I was looking at the new skincare products. They have like Korean skincare and all that shit now in the stores. So I was just looking, and I kind of sensed someone behind me looking at me, but I didn't really think much thought into it, because people know who I am in the streets. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just someone fascinated by me, you know, per usual. Then all of a sudden, a man approaches me, and he was like, are you signed? He was like, are you signed? And I was like, no, I'm not signed at the moment, la la, but like, I told him like briefly the situation. And he was like, that he was a photographer, and that he basically could help me. That's what he said. And that it's basically more freelance modeling, and he creates a lookbook, and he has his connections. He takes 30%, you keep 70%, and that like blah 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 blah. He could help me. But I remember this about him, because I am an observer, all right? What he wore that day, like, he looked very cheap, and I'm not trying to be rude like that, but as someone who is very aware of how people dress, because honestly, like, if I'm honest with you guys know I'm African, right? And my parents are African, but growing up, my parents looked always put together. Like, I even remember, like, my friends used to always tell me, like, bro, like, your parents always look so put together. Like, I remember, like, and I don't really fuck with them like that, if I'm honest, but people always used to tell me that my parents looked so put together. So for me, automatically now, like, as I have matured a lot more, I notice things like this instantly. So for me, the way you dress says a lot about you, and you don't need to be like a pro in how you dress. Like, some people just don't care. Some people wear whatever they're comfortable with. But babes, like, let me tell you something. When it came to this man, first, when he was talking to me, I noticed his teeth. And honestly, I'm very big on hygiene. So hygiene as well is something that I also clock immediately. Like, I look at your nails. If your nails are dirty, if your clothes are dirty, and like your mouth and your breath, babe, like if you come talking to me, make sure that breath doesn't smell, you know, like do not come up talking to me if that breath smells. So his teeth were like, his front teeth were like broken in the front, you know. He didn't have a, like, they were like just broken. I have a gap, you know, but my dentist tells me that my teeth are good and well brushed and I don't have any cavities. I've never had cavities. But him, ladies, listen, like, not trying to sound judgmental like that, but girl, like, when he spoke to me, the way his breath smelled, I was like, is he not smelling that shit, you know? But then, like, I just stepped back, a couple steps back, you know, just to protect my peace. Then I just noticed, like, his teeth were very gray, like very gray, almost as if like this man had been drinking black ass, dark ass coffee for years. Like, damn, like, you know, not like, add some milk to that shit. I don't fucking know. Like, I love coffee, but babe, like, I need a barista to make my coffee, you know. I'm not drinking some black ass coffee. Like, it's never that serious to me. It's never that deep. And then after that, girls, check just his clothes. And his clothes, like, he wore some sneakers. They weren't like clean or new. They weren't new, I would say. They weren't new. Had some like basic clothes. Like, his vibe was very like, it wasn't, I wouldn't say hipster, but it was just kind of like autumn colors. So the colors that he had on were just very autumn. But keep in mind, he did tell me that he was a photographer. So in my mind, I was like, okay, but like, if he's a photographer, maybe it's like, maybe that's just his vibe, you know, because some people who are photographers, they work behind the scenes. They don't need, like, you know, like, but their job is still fucking good. They know what the fuck they're doing. They have all the tools and shit like that. Plus, like, if you're a photographer in general, like, you probably have multiple cameras. Cameras are fucking expensive, guys. Like, even just a small Contax camera that is like this small costs like, what, 2K? People are charging that shit for 2K, 3K. So cameras are not that cheap, you know. Look at the Canon G7, how you guys are like going for war for this shit. I bought mine, actually I got it from a guy that I dated a couple years ago. This was like, what, 5-6 years ago? Lol. Yeah, and we were just talking and I was like, okay, whatever. And then we exchanged number on WhatsApp. I was like, yeah, let's message on WhatsApp. Then we planned to meet up and he takes me to this cafe. Did I show you guys the powder that I use, by the way? Laura Mercier powder now, that's loose and honey. One thing I just didn't like about him, if I'm honest, well, if I'm honest, I didn't like the fact that he grabbed my waist. He just touched it, like, slightly, you know? I just thought, like, why is he so comfortable touching me like that, you know? Like, I just thought it was weird. Because in my mind, you know, like, listen, like, if I'm not out in the club or like in a beach club trying to secure drinks for me and my homegirls, you don't need to be touching my waist, all of that shit. Like, I know she's madly skinny, but like, relax, darling. Keep your hands to yourself. Like watch out, you know? Then I remember after that, we went to the cafe, this cheap ass cafe. And we were just talking. But honestly, guys, can I say, like, I was on my period that day and I had so much anxiety. Like, not anxiety, but something just didn't feel off. Also, I met up my aunt when he was there and she even asked me in French. She was like, is this your lover? And I was like, never in my fucking life. Are you crazy? Oh my goodness. So you see, like, me being seen with a man like that, he was white. Like, you know, thinking back now, because I remember, okay, I would go get into it, but like, you know, I'm a very sexy woman. I'm a beautiful woman. Okay, I stand out, I dress good, I look good. So I cannot be seen with any type of man who looks any type of way. Him touching my waist like that, like, what are you trying to like symbolize to the public? You know, like, if I'm going to be walking around with a man who's older than me and white, babe, like, he needs to be breaking the bank. Like, I need to at least have a Chanel bag, you know, in my hand. It needs to at least look like I went shopping at Hermes or something. Like, being seen with this man out in the city like that, like, it's very, you know, because people misinterpret a lot of things. So I was just like, ooh, no, darling, ooh, no. Anyways, we went to the cafe. We were talking and he was just so fucking happy. Like, he was just so happy. And the questions he were asking me, like, I felt like during the whole talk, I was the one who was kind of like making the conversation about business again. So I was constantly the one who was just making it about business again. He was like asking me, are you single? Like, yeah, would you like move to Japan and things like that? So I tried to hope that like he was legit. He also told me something very interesting. He said that he didn't have any, like he used to have social media and post like everything there, but then he removed it because people used to always use his pictures and things like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. By the way, I applied the ube powder, if you guys are wondering, from Huda Beauty, the ube powder. Also, during the whole like talk, I remember he asked me, he was like, don't you have any questions to ask me? Don't you have any questions to ask me? And I was just like I was hoping that he was gay. I called Sophia, I called my cousin. I was like, do you guys think he's gay? Like, I'm trying to think if he's gay, because if he was gay, I would have felt a lot more better. Like, I was hoping that he was gay, you know? Like, that's literally the only thing I was thinking about. Like, I only wanted to ask him if he was gay, but also, like, it's not a rude question to ask, but it's also, like, an invasion of privacy to ask someone about their preference. I'm very socially aware of situations and how to act, how to behave, how to be, how to talk, what to say, and what to ask. So I don't cross boundaries just because of the curiosity. I'm not trying to get killed as a cat, babes. And he was like, ask me questions, ask me questions. And I was like, I didn't even have, I just went back to business. Like, I just started asking questions about business because that was like my main focus. He seemed to be so fucking interested about me and all the other shit that didn't even make any fucking sense. And then I told him just a little bit like my summer plans. Guys, I have nothing booked for summer so far. Sophia is coming to Sweden though. Next month, which is very exciting, so you guys will get that. But besides that, like, I have nothing planned for summer so far. My birthday is in September. I'm freaking out. Not really, but I just don't have a birthday dress even, so I don't really have anything planned for summer. But I remember I told him, I was like, I don't know, maybe I will go to Bodrum because I really want to go to Bodrum. And then he was like telling me that like, oh, he has an apartment in Turkey, in Alanya or Natalia. I don't know which one. I didn't know there were two different places. I was just like, okay. And then he was like, we can go together. And I was like, are you okay, darling? I was just like, because why do you think I would want to go with you? Something also I didn't like about him is that he was too comfortable touching me. He touched my hands and he was like, oh my god, you're so cold. And I was like, what's going on here? Why is this man so comfortable touching me? Like, in my mind, like, I was trying to read him, like, is he gay? Is he gay? Is he gay? Like, I was trying to think to myself, is he gay? What is this behavior? Like, I was just trying to hope. I was just hoping that he was like a fascinated gay man. You know, but also like, bro, like, he looked too old for me. Like, not even too old, but too old to be like a friend of mine, you know, even if he was gay. Like, he definitely looked like he was in his 50s. And you guys are probably thinking, why did you not ask? Babe, because I didn't really care. I came there for business. I came here for business, darling. I came to talk moolah. Like, what's up with the moolah? Like, let's talk about the moolah. Something also I thought was very like odd what he said that I also thought was odd, and I remember leaving thinking like, oh, what a just like weird thing to say. I remember he said to me, he was like, he's the type of person he doesn't like. Am I having a blush blindness now? I can barely see even. But he would, okay, not really, not that bad yet. But he kind of like told me, he was like, he likes taking pictures when the weather gets better. So like outside. And I thought like, what? Like, you don't have a studio or anything like that? Like, you want to take outside? And something that he also used to do, he was like, but are you okay like with nudity? Like, are you okay with doing like nudity? Like if it's like perfumes and things like that. He was so just like odd, like such a fucking weirdo. Everything's just very odd here, guys. And then we left the cafe and I remember he was like, oh, I love your eyes. And I was just like, guys, like my face never lies. Like he said he loved my eyes, but the way I was sighting him, like I was looking at him like, literally, like that was my face the whole fucking time. Like, I'm not even kidding. I don't know, maybe if he's like autistic or he cannot read people's faces or if he was just like fucking delusional. Fast forward, we meet a second time, and this time I was like, okay, perhaps now it's time to start talking a little bit more on the creative directing, because babes, like I just wanted my pictures. Like I was like, if he's a photographer, I would love to like take pictures, like beautiful nice pictures, and post my IG and shit like that, because I love taking pictures. Like you guys, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I love taking pictures and posting bunch of shit out there, you know. We meet a second time. He still looks cheap as fuck. This meeting though, I have to say, when we met, it's kind of like getting a little bit frustrated. Every time when he spoke to me, I started to feel like, why are we not talking more about business? It was more like about curiosity about me. And this is when things start to get very bizarre for me, because he said, he was like, he started to talk about my fertility, which was just very odd. And he said, he was like, I think you will have triplings. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I think you have triplings. I was like, no, I will not. Like, I will not have fucking triplings. Like, what the fuck? And he was like, I think you're very fertile. He was just like talking about my fertility. And I was like, why is this man so... Why do you think about my eggs? Like, why do you think about my eggs? Why do you think about my future children? Who are you? Like, are you okay? Because listen, ladies, I have always wanted to give birth to twins, okay? So I've always wanted to have twins, but the reason why I want to have twins is because I only want to get fat twice. So I'm okay with getting fat one time and popping out 2 children, then perhaps having a third one so my children have siblings. So they're like siblings, a trio. But when he started to talk about my fertility, telling me about triplings and twins, honestly, like, now I don't even want to have twins anymore, only because he fucking said it. Because after that sentence, you know what this ugly fucking dusty man said to me? By the way, like, he wasn't fat or anything. Like, you know, men tend to age a lot more better than women, but he basically almost had no hair. He breath smelled again. Like, I remember, like, he spoke and he just smelled again. And I'm just like, because we are very aware. I don't know, maybe if coronavirus fucked him over with his smell, with his scent, like the way he smells shit. But you can always smell if you smell a little bit. But what he said after the fertility is what is going to fucking, like, make you guys gag. You guys are gonna get so disgusted. He tells me, he's like, I think in the past life, you and I were a couple. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I think in the past life, you and I were a couple. And I was just like, I was like, you think so? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's the moment I was like, oh my god, this man is such a fucking stupid fuck. Like, I was like, this bitch is stupid. Like, in my head, I was like, this bitch is so stupid. Like, I almost started to giggle a little bit because I was like, this man is so fucking stupid. Like, this is the level type of delusionality. Like, and then he was like, oh, what do you think you were in your past life? And I said, I was like, I don't think I had a man. Like, I don't think I had any lover. I don't even think I had children. Like, I think I lived my life very lonely. This is also where it got weird because he was constantly overstepping boundaries when it came to me. So he was testing the ground to see how far he actually could go with testing, like, the boundaries when it comes to me. I was talking about laser hair removal because you guys know, like, I get laser hair removal. I've been doing it now for a year. I don't know if that shit, I think that shit is a scam though, but like, we've been knowing that, right? And then out of nowhere, he was like asking me if I had done like Brazilian, and I was like, I didn't even answer him. But this is now where you see the type of man he is, you know. He was like asking me if I'd done Brazilian. I didn't give him an answer. He also like mentioned out of nowhere that he always gets tested for like STDs and things like that, which is just disgusting because I didn't even ask or care about it. But I even said to him, I was like, all the guys that I date or who wants to date me, all of them are fucking millionaires, all of them are rich. Like, when it comes to me, the type of man that will always want to take me seriously is someone who is a millionaire. I look good next to a millionaire. I'm tall, I'm skinny, I'm beautiful, I'm classy, I'm elegant. And whenever I spoke about the type of man I tend to attract, he always went quiet because he couldn't compete with that. Then he started to ask me, he was like, but like, what is your type in men? He was like, what is your type in men? And I said, I was like, I don't have a type. I didn't say I don't have a type, but I didn't give him a proper answer. Favorite mascara, telescopic, L'Oreal. He was like asking me, he was like, oh, what is your type then in men? And I didn't give him an answer because I remember telling him, I was like, I feel like men only ask that to be able to like adapt themselves to what your type is. And he kept asking me, but I didn't give him an answer. I just said, like, when I meet my man, I will know. Like, when I meet my partner in crime, I will fucking know, you know. And then out of nowhere, he was like, I think, he started to talk about the type that he thinks I should date, you know. And he was telling me, he was like, I think you need someone who is nice to you, like, and lets you be who you are and gives you the room to be exactly who you are. Bro, like, I know, like, even when I talk about it, it just sounds so sketchy. Babe, what happened with the pictures? You fraudulent little bitch. Anyways, and he was like, I think you need to be with someone who is like, you know, lets you be who you are because you have a very strong character. I don't think you should be controlled or anything like that. He was like, because I think if you are with someone who is controlling, controlling and like very like dominant or aggressive, like doesn't let you be free, like doesn't let you be who you are, it will be a problem. And I remember when he said that, I was like, I mean, if I ever end up with a guy like that, I would probably just cheat on him. And then he went quiet. Then after he basically told me the type of man he thought I should date, he stood still and he was talking in a very expressive way with his arms, like his body language was very open. So I knew that he was looking for like me to validate what he just said. And I just didn't care. I was just like, yeah, I was just like, we would just have to wait and see. And then I tried to I basically changed the focus, because I didn't want to talk about myself. Like, I love talking about myself, but babe, like, I don't want to talk about myself when we're supposed to be here for business. Fast forward, we leave, and then he drops me off in the car, right? I was basically talking about how, like, people always just want to be my friend. People always want to come close to me. People always want to have access to me. Everybody knows, you know, that, like, people who meet me, they immediately sense a direction. They sense that, okay, this woman is going somewhere, she has potential and things like that. But I even told him, I was like, I'm not the type of person who wants to have friends. And if I'm having a friend, if someone wants to be my friend, like, we need to make money together. Like, if a friendship happens, it needs to happen naturally. You cannot force a friendship. One thing people tend to constantly do with me that I have noticed, people force friendship when a friendship is supposed to develop with time. Like, you cannot force someone to open up to you. You cannot overstep boundaries for someone to open up to you. Trust needs to be earned between y'all. Like, I'm not even kidding, guys. People always call me their friend, and I never do. I don't call anyone my friend. Like, I don't call anyone my friend, you know? Like, if someone tells me, oh, is she your friend? I'm like, I mean, I don't really consider her a friend. But then I have other people telling other people that, oh, we used to be friends, babe. Like, it's just weird. Like, I just think it's so weird, because I don't think friends is something you just throw out lightly. Like, okay, I know a lot, babe. I know everyone. I know everyone that I need to know so far. I don't know everyone that I need to know, but babe, I know a lot of people, you know, but they're not my friends. They're not my fucking friends. And while we were at the car, I was like saying, I was like, yeah, people always want to be my friend, but I don't want to have friends. Like, people always want to be my friend, but I don't want to have friends. And I even said, I know that I'll be very rich and very successful. I know that I am building an aura. Like, I know that I have an aura that is very, you know, maintainable. I know that people, I said this to him, I was like, but I was just talking, you know, like, I didn't think so much about it. But I noticed that the more I was talking, the more quiet he was. Like, he was very, very quiet. And I was always the one who was just like kind of going back to business. Like, constantly, I was the one who was going back to business, you know. And I remember he was just being so quiet, because I said, I was like, I don't want friends. I don't want friends that are not beneficial to me. I don't want to be surrounded just by people, just to be surrounded by people. Like, I've been doing shit like that, you know. Like, I'm not a kid anymore. I actually have a life that I'm going after. And one thing you guys need to understand, if you are a self-made successful woman who has direction, who has motion, who's going somewhere, you cannot let yourself be distracted by whoever, because people will try to distract you. You cannot let anyone just enter your life, however. And trust me, with this ugly, bad breath, stinking man, I thought my lesson. Because after I said all that shit, I went back to business again, automatically, okay? Automatically, I went back to business. And I was like asking him, I was like, yeah, so what type of cameras do you have? And he didn't sound so sure of himself. He started to say, oh, like, it depends. Do you want like the 50s, 60s style? Why are we talking about the 50s? Babe, like, why are we talking about the 50s? I'm talking about now. I was like, do you have some film? Like, do you have some like shit like that? Because I had a vision in my head. But he had another vision in his head. You know, something men will always have is the audacity. He saw my sexy fly ass. He really thought I was going to be emotionally open to him. Babe, let's talk business. I wasn't even sitting in a nice car with him. I mean, the car was kind of new. It was fresh. But, like, he had a white car. I'm sorry, like, as a man, like, I hate white cars. I think white cars are the most ugliest thing ever. It just doesn't make sense why I have a white car. A white car? Who has a white car? I hate white cars. I just don't think it's cute. Like, it just doesn't make sense. The thing is, it's, in my opinion, if you're a girl, then you can have a white car. If you're a man with a white car, I'm just like, ugh. Why do you have a white car? Why not, like, what? Please. No. And I was just like, why the fuck am I... And something also that was the red flag, in my opinion, when it came to this Dusty man, was that he told me that he had spent a lot of time in the Caribbeans. And I was just like, oh no. Like, when he said that, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Because when I was redirected the conversation to business when we were at the car, he then said, he was like, imagine if we were in the Caribbeans, how I would like shoot you. And I was like, babe, like, we're not in Caribbeans right now, we're in fucking Scandinavia. Like, let's be for real. Let's go back to the focus and not to the fantasy world. All right, like, I don't have time for that shit, you know. Plus, why the fuck is this white man who has technically, like, he's not poor, I think, but he's very like cheap looking, and why is he spending so much time in the Caribbeans? Babe, that's a fetish. That's a fetish. That's a predator. That's a predator. Like, he's a predator. Because why, like, I'm sorry, I've never understood these white men who are here from Europe or like the Western world and travel to like Asia and goes to like Caribbean to South America. Y'all not scared? Like, what the fuck? These men are predators. Because why do you want someone... and I'm not trying to be offensive to any other, if you guys live like there, like, obviously the circumstances look different for everyone, but everyone knows that those people are losers back home. Ooh, like, that's literally my biggest fear. Can you imagine having a dad who like travels to like these poor ass countries, probably fucking uses these girls and takes advantage of these girls, and everyone thinks like they have money because they're white, because that's how these people think. Like, you go to Africa, you go to like Caribbeans, the reason why these Caribbeans be killing white people is because they think y'all have money. Some of y'all do though, like, let's not act like they don't, but like, it's just very odd to go to the Caribbeans in general as a very middle class person. It would have been something else if you told me you spent New Year's Eve in St. Bart's. Then we're talking. But the Caribbean, just to go to Caribbeans, you're a fucking predator. You're a nasty motherfucker. Anyways, fast forward, I noticed that he was like getting like, the more I spoke, the more quiet he got. Also, I even asked him about the clothes. So I was like, oh, what type of clothes do you have? I was like, what type of clothes do you have, you know? And he sounded so insecure. Like, I was like, what? And he was like, oh, I have some suits and things like that. And I was like, but what type of suits are they? Like, are they tailored? Are they wool? Like, what type of lining is it? Like, I went into that, you know? And I didn't even think about it. I just asked these questions because I know my shit. He sounded so insecure. Then, anyways, he dropped me off. I was hopping off the car. Then he told me, he was like, next time when I'm messaging you with a spot to shoot. I was like, okay. And then I shut the door. I didn't even look back. I just left. He messaged me a week later telling me, hey, now that the weather's getting nice, I was going to say, like, maybe we should meet up and shoot. And I was like, okay, what's the plan and where's this destination? Like, where? He gives me an address, and the same address is basically the same neighborhood that he lives, which is far as fuck. And I just thought it was super weird, because why are you picking a place in a weird neighborhood? And his directions sounded so tacky. He was just talking in a sense, a way of like what he thought the plan, like the way he was talking about the plan for the shoot, because I think he felt more pressured. And I know you guys are going to be like, why did you not ask for a portfolio? Why did you not ask for a portfolio? I'm coming into it, okay? But relax, I only met him twice, and it was in public spaces, never like anywhere crazy. But I was just like, ugh, like this plan just sounds too trashy. And I immediately felt like he was going to just, it just didn't feel good, you know? And honestly, by the way, the first time that I met him, when I told you about him touching my waist and shit like that, I immediately had so much anxiety afterwards, and I knew that was my gut telling me. But one thing I have been struggling with is trusting my intuition, because I have a very strong intuition, but babe, like my intuition sometimes turns into paranoia. Like, I don't know guys, like my intuition literally makes me sometimes paranoid, like, because I see things but then I'm like, fuck, like, you know, having a very strong intuition like I have, it's low-key like being paranoid. You know how some people are paranoid? Because I remember when I was younger, people constantly used to tell me that I am paranoid. But everything I sensed, everything I felt was happening. It happened. So is it paranoia, or is it just my intuition telling me? After this situation, I definitely have learned to trust him more, because it was so just interesting. He was like giving me his direction. He wanted to meet me a specific, like a specific week, but then he told me that he was going to the Mediterranean Sea and that he will be back for like in a week. And I was just like, okay, first of all, why do you say the Mediterranean Sea? Why don't you just say if you're going to south of France, so like Spain, you know, whatever. But I knew that he did that because he obviously clocked that the men that I date, they all travel, and they all travel business class or private jets. Like that's the standards that my life is at, you know, like when it comes to the man that wants to date me, because I don't go on dates like that. I don't really date like that. I'm very hard to impress. I don't really give a fuck about money. Like, even though I would never date a broke man ever in my entire life, I don't care about money like that. Oh my god, is this story getting too long? Yeah, anyways, he messaged me and he said, oh, I'm back now from my trip, whatever. And I was like, and he was like, can we meet this week? And I was like, you know, I kind of got bored and I didn't want to meet him. I didn't want to see him. So I told him, I was like, I can't this week, but perhaps next week. And he was like, okay, no problems. And the way, honestly, this is very cringy. He used to always message me and he was like, I hope we can meet. I hope we can meet. Like, babe, aren't you like 50 years old? I don't know how old he is because I didn't ask him. But one thing I think is weird, he didn't even reveal his age to me. And I was like, I'm not going to walk around and be seen with this white old man. He's not doing anything for me. He looks poor as fuck. Look at me. Like, I look so good. What am I doing being seen with an old white man? Like, come on now. Come on now. Like, let's not play that game, you know? If I'm being seen with an older white man, like, babe, we need to go to Hermes. Like, people need to at least see that he's paying for something. Because I don't have time people catching me out here in the streets with him thinking I'm popping my pussy like that for free to this man. And I, like, what? No, like, you know, because the thing is, when you look so put together as a woman as well, it symbolizes the type of man, you know, it symbolizes the man. Like, being around me adds to the value as a man, just in general. Like, it brings your value up. It makes you look more interesting. I messaged him and I was like, yeah, also I wanted to ask you if you had perhaps any portfolios, like anything from your previous work that you could like show me. And then he answered, he was like, yeah, and when we meet the next time, I will show you. That's when I was like, you know what, like, I didn't even want to meet him. I didn't even care. And I told him, I messaged him, I was like, I won't need your help anymore. I said, I won't need your pictures anymore, but thank you for wanting to help. And then I just blocked him. And I remember the next day I woke up, I was like, maybe modeling isn't for me in this lifetime. Don't you think the next day while I'm walking on the street, a car just fucking stops me? Like, he literally did a U-turn, stops me, hops out of the car, and basically wants to sign me for the biggest agency here in Scandinavia called Mikas. He was like, here's everything, here. Because, like, I don't want an agency. Like, if I'm honest with y'all, like, I don't think I want to be signed. I'll tell you guys something. When it comes to modeling, you really have to be professional. I am a diva, darling. Like, I will have a worse reputation than Naomi Campbell when it comes to the model industry, not when it comes to all the other fraudulent shit. When it comes to me in general and my path and my journey, I just don't think that I need to wait for someone to find me or to choose me or to pick me. Just in general, like, I have everything that I need. I have everything that I need to be able to make it big in this life. So I think with me is that I have the beauty. I'm beautiful, I'm young, you know, I'm fierce, I'm confident, I'm cocky, sophisticated, everything. I have great style, I have the whole package, but I have been lacking structure. And structure is what has kept me from getting played. Just like this old white man that like tried to tell me that he was a photographer going to help me. And even with this agency, like, I don't even trust them. Like, I'm not saying that they're anything bad or anything like that, because I mean, they are a legit agency. But I did also do like a tarot reading and shit like that, and I just don't think really it's for me. I think what I need to do just in general is to focus on my brand, focus on me, focus on being consistent with posting and having like a good structure and discipline, because babe, like, I am the brand of my own life. Like, I am the brand. The only reason why I will be able to get everything I want in this life, the only reason why I'll be able to become very successful and get everything I want is because I am exactly who I am. Being me is what will make me rich. Being me is what will actually get me the things I want this life. Being me is what will give me everything. So if I sit here and still wait for other people to validate my presence when I already see it in the mirror, I'm wasting my time, and I will constantly get played, because there's no one in this planet who will ever care as much for me as I do for myself. No one will be as ambitious as me for me. No one will ever want to go and do the work for me as I would do it for me. So it is important to kind of clock your own teeth sometimes and realize, because even though this man is a piece of trash and I don't really give a fuck about him like that, I'm so happy that he's tried to distract me, because he made me realize where I need to start drawing the line when it comes to like opportunities and things like that. Just people just trying to enter my life. Also the same way with this agency stopping me. Like, I played these games before. It's always like, oh, we will sign you and this and this, that. The model industry doesn't really care anymore. And the thing is, this is how I'm thinking to myself. I know that I look like a model. I know that I'm beautiful and everything. But I think it's, for me personally, it's better to just look like a model than to actually be a model. You know, like for me personally, it's just better that I look like this than actually being one. It's just better. It's easier for me to get what I want, and I don't have time to with people to play with my money, because I know how these agencies are. Like, they love to play with your money. I actually finished my makeup now. I'm very happy. I want to show you guys just my lip combo. I used the Morphe Trendsetter. Then I use this Morphe. This is the lip lifter. Yeah, lip lifter in Ballet. This e.l.f. gloss, which is one of my favorites. Their balms, like lip balms, are really, really, really good. I have them in every color. I really love them. And this is Vanilla Tofu, so I'm obsessed with her. And of course, we cannot forget the setting spray. This is Powder Melt from One Size. Absolutely fantastic. I also sometimes use this from Kaya Cosmetics, that dewy look, but she's very good if you have very, very dry skin, or if you have powdered the fuck out of your face. I like to spray this one, and then this on top again, and then I just let this shit dry, and then I tend to add like a little bit of powder and shit like that. I love looking like in my own skin. The whole point with makeup is that you're supposed to apply a lot. People who do, like, I'm not into like all that, oh, little product, less is more. Fuck that shit. Less is not more, darling. Because no, I just want to come here and update you guys a little bit about my life, tell you guys what has happened. Also, like, that same day when I got approached by that agency, a guy wanted to, like, ugh, please, like, these men, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I don't know what's going on, guys, but like a lot of people are contacting me, messaging me, wanting to like work with me, wanting to interview me, and I'm like, babe, like, you guys better come with a check first. But what's good about it is that means that people are noticing me. You know, my energy is very vibrant, and when you are a very vibrant person, you also have to acknowledge that you attract both positive and negative adoration. Just like I told you guys, people have a hard time staying neutral to my sexy energy, and they tend to react to it, and it's both positive things and negative things. But yeah, but anyways, my camera is fucking dying, even though I charged it the whole night. I'm not gonna spend a lot more time talking my shit, but I hope you guys enjoyed this life update. I feel like it's all over the place, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple months. I will definitely come back, and I promise to do my best to be consistent here on YouTube, because I actually fuck with you guys heavily, even more on this channel. I feel like on YouTube I can be more myself, a little bit more open and more vulnerable. On TikTok I could never, because you just know that people are just watching. I know people just stalk me just to stalk me. There's an ugly bitch on TikTok as well who keeps talking shit about me. I shouldn't say that in reality, because my astrologer has told me to try to change, be a little bit more zen, because I'm very reactive. I've been very reactive, so I'm trying to just change for the better. But what can you, like, yeah, you know, it's not easy. Changing is not easy. At least I'm self-aware of my fucking self, so at least I'm trying to do better. But thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will come back with a nice vlog for you guys. And yeah, summer is coming. We are in May. A lot of shit is about to happen for me. Life is becoming greater and I will blow up and things will go good for me. Like I will get everything I want this life. So I'm very excited. So yeah,